The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Welcome back to the Neural Left. It is Thursday, April 23rd, 2026, and I am John Steele.
And I'm Maya. If you're looking for a peaceful morning cup of coffee, you've come to the right place if your idea of peace is a 2x speed breakdown of the Republic's structural collapse.
Okay, look, we've got a busy show today, but first, the housekeeping. Yesterday, we were talking about the absolute insanity of Kash Patel, the man running the FBI, allegedly needing SWAT teams to breach his door because he's too deep in a bottle to hear his briefing.
No, literally. The era of the FBI director being swatted was wild. We also covered the Texas ruling on the 10 Commandments and the Iranian guards seizing ships in the Strait of Hormuz. And high-key, it is only getting worse today.
Well, it is, and we'll get to the missiles in a second, but first, some news about us. Neural Network Media, the folks who keep our lights on and my goat Mitch fed, is going through a massive upgrade this week. We've got enhanced vocal capabilities, more hosts joining sister shows, and some new segments. It's a level up, folks.
It's giving glow up. The infrastructure is finally catching up to our stress levels. But speaking of stress levels, John, we need to talk about this Iran impasse because the vibes in the Persian Gulf are officially rancid.
Here's the thing. We are now 8 weeks into this undeclared war with Iran. President Trump just extended the 2-week ceasefire indefinitely on Truth Social. But at the same time, the Navy is out there seizing container ships like the Sunday. It's a ceasefire in name only, while we conduct Operation Economic Fury.
It's the gaslighting era of foreign policy. Trump is like, we're holding our attack, while the Navy is literally doing a naval blockade. Iran's foreign minister Arachi is calling it an act of war, which, I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not. But the bigger issue, the thing that should be making everyone's hair stand on end, is a report coming out that says the U.S. is actually running out of missiles. We have depleted nearly half of our critical missile stockpiles in just 2 months of this back and forth.
Half? Already? That's high-key embarrassing. Like, we spent almost $1 trillion on defense and we're out of ammo in 8 weeks?
It's militarism without means, Maya. We're projecting this aggressive America-first strength, but we're emptying the cupboards. If something happens in the Pacific, if China decides this is the moment to move on Taiwan, our silos are going to be whistling in the wind.
And the Senate is just watching it happen? I saw they had another vote on the War Powers resolution yesterday.
Well, God, the 5th time. For the 5th time, Senate Republicans defeated a resolution to limit Trump's war powers. 46-51. And you know who joined the Republicans? John Fetterman.
Okay. Fetterman is really sticking to his villain arc, huh? Just full-on supporting the economic fury vibes, while the rest of the party is trying to prevent World War III.
Fetterman and the GOP are playing this game of chicken with a nuclear power, while our own military-industrial complex is wheezing. It's legislative constipation at its finest. They won't even debate the merits. They just kill the resolution and go to lunch, while the Navy secretary gets fired for, and I kid you not being Trump class enough.
Wait, Trump class? Is that a real phrase they're using for ships now? Like they're branding the destroyers with gold leaf?
It's not just the ships, Maya. It's the leadership. Yesterday, Navy Secretary John Phelan was told to pack his bags immediately. Now, Phelan was a billionaire donor. He was one of them. But apparently he wasn't disciplining the troops enough after that viral video Senator Mark Kelly posted. And he was pushing back on these Trump-class shipbuilding initiatives.
Phelan got ratioed by the Secretary of War. Pete Hegseth is really out here playing Grand Theft Auto with the Pentagon.
It's a purge. Hegseth and Steven Feinberg are clearing out anyone with a shred of institutional memory. They've already sacked the Army's top officer, General Randy George. And who did they replace Phelan with? Hung cow!
Oh, bad. Hung cow, the guy who ran for Senate in Virginia and basically made loyalty to Trump his entire personality?
Exactly.
That is so mid.
It's more than mid, it's dangerous. We are in the middle of a high-stakes blockade, an actual military operation. And we're swapping out civilian leadership for yes-men who have never managed a budget larger than a campaign bus tour. It's the loyalty-first model, Maya. Operational stability is being sacrificed on the altar of the final mission strategy.
No, literally. It's like they're trying to speedrun the collapse of the administrative state before the midterms.
Well, it's working. Between the Navy purge and the Department of Education being offloaded to other agencies, the federal government is looking more like a carcass being picked apart by vultures than a functioning superpower.
And speaking of vultures, can we talk about the Supreme Court for a second? Because the shadow docket is leaking again, and it's giving corruption.
This leak in the New York Times is the third one in 4 years. It's a trove of private memos that show exactly how the conservative majority is using emergency orders to bypass the actual judicial process.
It's the shadow docket era. Basically, they just decide things on a Friday night with no oral arguments, no public record. Just, hey, this law doesn't exist anymore. Bad.
It's a star chamber. The memos reveal that Chief Justice Roberts was moving with unprecedented speed as far back as 2016 to kill Obama-era climate rules before lower courts could even finish their coffee.
And Ketanji Brown Jackson is high-key done with it. She called the rulings utterly irrational. The memos show the justices aren't even talking to each other anymore. They just write these angry screeds and hit send from their vacation homes on appeal.
It confirms the court is at war with itself. And then you have Justice Alito. There were all these rumors he was going to retire strategically so Trump could seat a 30-year-old zealot before the midterms.
Okay, but he's staying, right?
He's staying. Sources say Alito and Thomas aren't going anywhere. I think they're the only thing standing between civilization and the radical left. It's a mess, Maya. A complete decay of judicial integrity.
It's a main character moment for Alito. He really thinks he's the protagonist of America.
Hey, before we move on to the Sacklers and the opioid crisis, a quick note from our sponsor. Look, independent media like this doesn't just manifest out of the ether. It takes real human work to build the infrastructure. We are 100% here because of the vision and the grind of our creator, Eric Christensen at Neural Network Media.
He's the real one.
He's not a media conglomerate. He is a builder who poured his own resources and time into creating this platform so we could have these conversations. If you value independent voices over corporate algorithms, please like, subscribe, and consider visiting our new Patreon at patreon.com/Neural Network Media to support this work. It's an act of solidarity that keeps the lights on and the servers running.
High key, do it for the servers and for John's goat.
Mitch thanks you in advance. Now, Maya, you saw this ProPublica report on the Sackler family and Purdue Pharma because it is one of the most gut-wrenching things I've read all year.
It's actually disgusting. So everyone remembers the $7.4 billion settlement, right? It was supposed to be this huge win for the victims of the opioid crisis, but a federal judge just approved an expungement motion that basically deletes 80,000 individual claims because they missed a revised evidence deadline.
80,000 claims? Gone. Just like that. And the evidence they're asking for? They're telling families they have to produce medical prescriptions from 20 years ago. Records that most doctors' offices have already shredded.
It's the evidence barrier era. If you don't have a paper trail from 2004, you get nothing. The payouts for families of fatal overdose victims have plummeted from $48,000 to, get this, $8,000.
$8,000. for a life.
While the Sacklers keep their billions, the 2024 Supreme Court ruling was supposed to stop them from getting immunity, but this new plan basically does an end run around it. 10% of the money goes to the victims, 90% goes to government entities and insurance companies.
To recoup public costs.
Exactly. It's a corporate negligence masterclass. They're using the victims as a human shield to pay back the government, while the people who actually lost their kids get an $8,000 check and a thanks for playing. It's such a flaw.
It's a protection racket. We treat these corporate entities like they have rights, but when they flood our streets with poison, we let them bankruptcy exit their way into a comfortable retirement. I used to think the system was just broken, but looking at these 80,000 expunged claims, it's not broken. It's working exactly as intended for the people at the top.
No, literally. It's the same energy as the climate crisis right now. We're deregulating everything while the actual world is literally falling apart.
Whew, God, the Midwest. Did you see the Sheboygan Dam report?
It's 104 years old, and it was within 5 inches of overtopping. 5 inches!
Michigan is in crisis mode. We have a rain on snow event, which is exactly what the climate model said would happen, where heavy storms hit the record snowpack. The dams are failing. The Bucks Pond Dam already went. Governor Whitmer had to declare a state of emergency for half the state.
And meanwhile, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin is out here bragging about the largest deregulation in U.S. history. Like, good news, everyone. We're repealing the legal basis for climate regulation while your house is underwater.
The average age of a dam in this country is 61 years. We have a $34 billion funding gap just to keep high-hazard dams from killing people. And the GOP response is to cut the EPA's ability to even mention climate change? It's ideological suicide. They are choosing a D grade on our infrastructure because fixing it would mean admitting the scientists were right.
It's giving Titanic orchestra. Just keep playing the hits while the ship splits in half.
It's madness. All right, we have to talk about the main event, the partisan siege on the border and how it's crashing into the midterms. Maya, lead us into the $70 billion heist.
Okay, so this is high-key the biggest power move the GOP has made this year. They are using budget reconciliation to bypass the 60-vote filibuster and dump an absolute bag on ICE and CBP. We're talking $70 billion each.
$70 billion for agencies that are already swimming in cash, while the Department of Homeland Security is supposedly in a partial shutdown.
No, literally. The DHS shutdown is such a lie. They're shut down for everything except the Operation Metro Surge stuff where they're snatching people off the streets. Senate Republicans passed the budget resolution 50-48 yesterday. Only Rand Paul and Lisa Murkowski broke ranks.
And they want to lock this funding in for 3.5 years.
Bet. They want to make sure that even if Trump loses in 2028, the deportation machine is funded until 2029. It's a pre-midterm power grab if I've ever seen one. Trump set a June 1st deadline for it to hit his desk.
It's an end run around democracy. The Democrats have been blocking this since February because they want actual reforms, especially after those fatal shootings in Minneapolis by federal agents. But the GOP just found the cheat code in the rule book.
And they're doing it while the administration is low-key circling the drain in the polls. Did you see the Reuters Ipsos numbers?
33%. 33% approval.
That's a historic low. Even Fox News is showing that 56% of voters think the White House is incompetent at managing the government. Between the gas prices hitting $4 because of the Iran war and the DHS chaos, people are finally getting vibe checked.
It's the Iran war drag. 67% of Americans disapprove of the handling of the conflict. The closure of the Strait of Hormuz is hitting people in the wallet every single time they go to the pump. You could talk about economic fury all you want on Truth Social, but when it costs $80 to fill up your truck, the strength looks a lot like stupidity.
And the law and order narrative is flopping too. The GOP keeps talking about blue city hellscapes, but actual data is coming out showing violent crime in cities like Chicago and Minneapolis is hitting record lows.
Because the blue city success story is real. Democrats are leaning into community-based violence interruption, and it's working. And the voters see it. Democrats are reporting staggering fundraising hauls for the midterms, like scary levels of money.
It's the James Tallarico era. He's out here raising millions and talking about progressive Christianity, and it's actually landing. The GOP has 36 House members retiring because they see the midterm bloodbath coming.
They know. They're trying to fund the deportation machine now because they know they're going to lose the keys to the building in November. It's a final mission mentality. If you can't win the hearts and minds, you just fund the police state for the next 4 years and hope for the best.
It's so desperate. Like, imagine having a villain arc so bad that 2/3 of the country wants you unalived from public office.
Okay. Look, we've covered a lot of ground today. From the crumbling dams in Michigan to the $70 billion ICE slush fund, it's heavy. But the fact that the polls are shifting, that the 33% is a real number, means the performative masturbation of this administration isn't working on everyone.
Bet. People are waking up. We just have to keep the pressure on. No NPC energy allowed.
Exactly. Stand your ground, keep your neighbors safe, and for the love of God, support independent media so we can keep telling you when the ship is leaking.
No cap. We're out of here.
We'll be back tomorrow. Stay sharp.